You've gotten it?
Yeah, we have started. Good afternoon, team, members of PSK. I hope I'm audible enough. I would want to know whether I'm audible enough. Could I see some reactions, members? If you can hear me, just a thumbs up. A thumbs up will suffice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I see we are 250. Yeah, Ibrahman Ado. Yeah, thank you for that. I see most of us are in and counting. Welcome, members. My good name is Dr. Joe Mwangi Kamau. I work with the Ministry of Health, Narok County Government, as a forensic toxicologist, but a pharmacist by basic degree. I'll be hosting this webinar. We thought it wise to do it again, part 2, because I realized there were so many questions that had not been answered the other time. We got to document the questions, and today we have our esteemed panel, which is before us today, to take up the questions that we all had asked. But before we start with our panel, we need to pray. So I'll say a short prayer and then we start. For the Catholics, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Thank you, God, for this session. We trust that it will be beneficial to all the members and that all questions may be answered satisfactorily. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Yeah, so members, we have a panel of experts. We have Mr. Arif Mohammed. You guys remember he was there the last time. He's the one who took us through the previous session. Mr. Arif Mohammed is the director, Elite Expertise, Master of Hospital and Clinical Pharmacy. He's also registered with the Australian Association of Consultant Pharmacists, that is the AACPA. And he works at the Northern Health Hospital, that is in Melbourne. Then we have Mr. Arif, just wave.
Yeah,
for the members
hi,
to see.
hello guys.
Yeah, then we have Dr. Tony Aile. Tony Aile is one of our own, Kenyan born and bred, one of the leading toxicologists we have from the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya. And we are here basically, members, today to talk about the exploring global career opportunities for pharmacists. And this is part 2. Dr. Tony Aile, you can also wave.
Hello, members. Good evening. Good evening from Australia and good morning. Good afternoon in Kenya. Thank you.
Members, just to update you, it is almost 4 minutes past 12 in Kenya, and it is also 4 minutes past 7 p.m. in Australia. So they are starting their night time. We are in the afternoon. So without wasting any time, I know, Dr. Arif, you have a presentation. Please start with the presentation, then we go to the questions.
Yep. Thank you so much, Dr. Joe. And first of all, I would like to thank Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya for organizing this event once again to clarify all the questions or all the doubts that the candidates they have to build their career in the overseas, like in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Ireland. So whatever the country that they are dreaming, so to fulfill their dreams, so we all are here to help them out. Okay, so first of all, I would like to share by thanks to Dr. Joe, as well as Anthony, and to Hezron, PSK Communication Lead, and special thanks to CEO Dr. Ivy Ratimo. Okay, so, and first of all, like, good afternoon to everyone, as it is afternoon in Kenya. So good afternoon to everyone, and my name is Arif Mohammed. Okay, I'm the Director of Elite Expertise, and I'm a clinical pharmacist and also a consultant pharmacist here in Australia. So I would like to give you a short presentation for you guys, so reminding about how the steps that are involved to become a pharmacist in different countries. Okay? So I'll share a short presentation with you. Okay, so myself, I'm Mohammed. I'm the director at Elite Expertise, and I'm a clinical pharmacist as well as a consultant pharmacist. I'm working as a clinical pharmacist at Northern Health Hospital in Melbourne, Australia. And the other director is Harika Bhimarpu. She's also a clinical pharmacist and a consultant pharmacist here in Australia, and she's working for Monash Health in Melbourne. So, well, at Elite Expertise, the main courses that we offer to the students are like those who are planning to become to migrate to other countries like Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, okay, and US, UK. For all those who are planning to migrate to other countries and become a pharmacist, for them we are offering some courses, and we will help them to guide in providing the complete guidance in clearing their exams and how to become a fully licensed pharmacist in these countries. And the main courses for Australia that we offer are the OPRA exam. This is the first exam that all the candidates they need to clear. And after that, they need to start their internship. And during internship, there will be 2 more exams. One is the intern pharmacist written exam and the intern pharmacist oral exam. So for the Australia, we are providing all the 3 courses. And when it comes to Canada, so we are providing the training for the pharmacist to become a overseas pharmacist to become a pharmacist in Canada. Okay? So by process through a pathway which is known as the PEBC examination pathway. Okay? So where the candidates they need to clear the PEBC exam and they can become a pharmacist in Canada. So I will explain in detail about what are the steps and how many exams are involved to become a pharmacist in these countries. And then the other country that we are providing the training is the Ireland. So for Ireland, that is the PSI equivalence examination, Pharmaceutical Society of Ireland equivalency examination. So all the countries which are not non-EU countries, all the non-EU countries means all the other non-EU countries, they are the third country recognition pathway. Okay, so we all come under the TCQR pathway. So we need to clear the examinations. I will explain in detail what are the exams that are involved for Ireland to become a pharmacist in Ireland as well. So let's begin with, okay, so at the moment in Australia, we are not only helping the overseas pharmacists to clear their first part of exam, that is the OPRA exam, but at the moment we are also helping more than 100 Australian intern pharmacists are getting trained at Elite Expertise. So they all are now getting the training for intern pharmacist written exam as well as intern pharmacist oral examination. Okay? So more than 100, they have cleared their exams and become a fully licensed pharmacist in Australia. Then, so when it comes to the success rate, so always at Elite Expertise, we have maintained 90% and above success rate in the examinations. So we started Elite Expertise back in 2023. In July was the first batch. And since then, in each exam, always we maintained like 90+ percentage in all the examinations. Okay? Now, When it comes to the process that is involved for Australia to become a pharmacist in Australia, so the first step is we need to go for the document evaluation. So what is document evaluation? So for document evaluation step, at first you need to open your portal with Australian Pharmacy Council, APC. Okay. So you need to create your own portal with the APC and then need to upload all the documents. What are the documents that are required? That is your passport and then your transcripts and your pharmacy license in Kenya. Okay. So these are the main documents which are required for them to evaluate. And when once you submit all those documents, then you need to make a payment of 810 Australian dollars. When you pay this 810 Australian dollars, then they will evaluate your documents and they give the eligibility for you to sit for the OPRA exam. And then you need to sit for the OPRA exam and the examination fee will be 2,190 Australian dollars. So this is the first step of the exam. Clearing the OPRA exam is the first step for all the overseas registered pharmacists. That is, pharmacists who are registered in Kenya, they need to clear the OPRA exam first. Then after clearing the OPRA exam, then you will start your journey as an intern pharmacist. You need to get registered with APRA, that is Australian Health Practitioners Registration or Regulation Authority. So you need to get registered with APRA, and after getting registered, you need to do your internship for 1,575 hours, where you need to clear 2 more exams, that is intern pharmacist written exam and intern pharmacist oral exam. But after clearing the OPRA exam, so when you start your journey as an intern pharmacist, then you will start earning around $29 to $30 per hour. Okay. Internship in Australia is a paid internship. Okay. So wherever we do the internship all over the Australia, so it is a paid internship. So the hourly pay rate will be $29 to $30 per hour. Then by the time when we finish 75% of our intern hours, then we are eligible to sit for 2 more exams. One is the intern pharmacist written exam, which costs around 770 Australian dollars, and intern pharmacist oral exam, that is 475 Australian dollars. So after clearing these 2 exams, then we'll get the full license to practice as a pharmacist in Australia. Okay. So these are the steps that are involved to become a pharmacist in Australia. So the exam that we need to clear to become a pharmacist in Australia is OPRA exam. Okay. And this is the same exam, and this is the common exam even for New Zealand. Okay. In case if you are planning to become a pharmacist in New Zealand, then the same exam is to be done. Okay. So Australian Pharmacy Council conducts the exam, the OPRA exam. It is common for both Australia as well as for New Zealand. Okay. So this is about Australia and New Zealand. Then moving on to the steps that are involved to become a pharmacist in Ireland. Okay. So to become a pharmacist in Ireland, at first we need to go for our checking the application validity, that is initial review. Okay. So initial review, where you need to create your portal and you need to do the initial review. You need to send your documents. Then they will give you the complete details if you are eligible to sit for the Ireland pharmacist exam. So nowadays, like those who have done like earlier it was 5 years degree, and the good thing that in Kenya, like the pharmacy bachelor of pharmacy is 5 years degree. Okay, so it is eligible for them. It's eligible for you to sit for Ireland exam and to become a pharmacist in Ireland. Then they will do the holistic assessment. So after holistic assessment, they put you, like during the holistic assessment, the case officer will go through all your documents and they will decide whether we come under path A or path B. Now, what is path A? Path A means if our standards are equivalent to Irish standards, then we need not to sit for the exam. Straight away, they will give the license for us to practice as a pharmacist in Ireland. Okay, but unfortunately, those who come from TCQR pathway, that is the third country recognition pathways, means all the those who have studied in India, in Kenya, in in Sudan and in all the other countries, wherever we have studied, we all come under the TCQR pathway. Means we are not eligible to go through path A. Okay? So we must go only through path B. So what is path B? So path B means we must sit for the examination. Okay? So when it comes to the examination, there will be two exams. One is the MCQ exam and the other is the OSCE exam. So we need to clear the MCQ and the OSCE exam. So recently, Ireland, PSI, that is the Pharmaceutical Society of Ireland, has changed the examination process. Okay? How they have changed these steps. Earlier, there used to be an adaptation period. Okay, but last month they came up with the updates that no more adaptation period, means no more internship, no more supervised training, which becomes much easier for an overseas pharmacist to get Ireland license. Okay? How it becomes easier? Because even in Australia, when you look at the number of intern positions and the number of pharmacist job positions, if there are 100 pharmacist job positions which are posted in 1 month time frame, okay, there will be only 2 or 3 intern positions will be posted. Okay. There will be a huge difference between a pharmacist and an intern positions. Always in all the countries, they need the pharmacist. Okay. So finding the internship job, intern position is a bit difficult, but once we get the license as a fully registered pharmacist, then it becomes easy for us to grab the job. So that's the main advantage now. No more adaptation period, which means that you need not to search, you need not to look out for any internships. Straight away, clear the exams and get the Irish license. Okay. Then here, what are the documents that you need to submit? So you need to submit TCQR application form and your identity and statutory declaration form. You need to do a stat check, okay? And then the passport or your birth certificate, if marriage certificate applicable, then your resume. And these are the documents that are to be submitted directly from the third party in the sense your university. So your university has to send the academic transcripts and syllabus copy and your internship certificate. In case if you have done any internship after your graduation, then that certificate is to be sent. Then the certificate of professional status, that is a good standing certificate from you, from your state council, okay, pharmacy council, okay, Kenya Pharmacy Council. Then additional post-qualification training or any CPD activities that you have done. So you need to send the record of the CPD activities. So these are the things that you need to submit. And when you submit all these documents, then a holistic assessment will be done. And the case officer will decide whether you come under path A or on path B. Okay. But as I mentioned that unfortunately nowadays, like for all the TCQR, that is the third countries that we come under, so all the non-EU countries, they place us under path B, means examination pathway. Okay. But if our qualification, like if our standards are high, like if we have the strong CPDs and if we have done the internship and if you have a very good clinical practice, then they might give you exemption from one of the exams. So there are 2 exams, MCQ, and that is the MCQ exam, where the subjects that will be covered will be the pharmacy practice, pharmacology, and pharmaceutical calculations. And OSCE exam, objective structured clinical examination, where they mainly assess your communication skills and clinical judgment and patient safety practice. Okay? So if our profile is strong, okay, with good CPD activities and so on, then they may give the exemption for one of these exams. They may ask you not to go with the MCQ and straight away you can sit for the OSCE exam. Okay, so these are the things that are the main advantages to become a pharmacist in Ireland. And the last step is, after you clear the exam, then you will get the certificate from the Pharmacy Society of Ireland. And with that certificate, you can get registered with the pharmacy board. But during registration, you need to show your English language requirement. Either you can sit for IELTS, or you can sit for TOEFL, or you can sit for the Occupational English Language Test, OET. One of these tests that are accepted by the Ireland Pharmacy Board. So these are the steps that are involved to become a pharmacist in Ireland. Now, here is the complete fee structure to become a pharmacist in Ireland. The first one is application submission, initial application submission, which costs around 500 euros. Then for holistic assessment, it is 1,000 euros. So total 1,500 euros just for document evaluation step. Then when they ask you to sit for the exam, the examination fee will be 3,000 euros. Okay? And if there is any appeals that are required, then you need to pay extra 300 euros. Okay? But up to here, so total 4,500 euros is the fees that cost for clearing the exam. But after clearing the exam, please keep in consideration that again, you need to clear your English language test. And finally, you need to get registered with Pharmacy Board of Ireland. So these are the steps that are involved to become a pharmacist in Ireland. And this is the fee structure which is involved to become a pharmacist in Ireland. And finally, when it comes to Canada, okay, to become a pharmacist in Canada, the first step, again, document evaluation. Either if you are going with Australia, Ireland, New Zealand, Canada, US, UK, all the countries, the first step will be document evaluation. Then we need to sit for the PBC, Canadian Pharmacist PBC Evaluating Exam. That is the first part of the exam. Then PBC Qualifying Exam. So qualifying exam consists of Part 1 MCQ and Part 2, that is OSCE exam. Okay. Similar to that of how we have seen in case of Ireland, MCQ exam and OSCE. Even in Canada, MCQ and OSCE, okay, both are involved. Okay. So these are the things that we need to clear. And here is the stepwise explanation how you need to create your profile to appear for the Canada PBC examination. So the first step is document evaluation. So for that, the main step is at first you need to create Pharmacist Gateway Canada, that is the NAPRA ID. Okay? So it is an online step. So you can do it just by sitting at your home. Okay, so you need to create a NAPRA ID. Then you need to create the PBC ID, then submit all your documents. So here are the detailed explanation how you create the NAPRA ID and what is the fee for all these steps. Okay. So the first step is Pharmacist Gateway, that is creating the NAPRA ID. Okay. So you need to go through, you need to Google and you need to search for the NAPRA, Canada Pharmacist NAPRA. Okay. Then you need to create your profile by entering all your details and create an account. Okay. Then once you log into the account, then you need to make a payment of 375 Canadian dollars. After making the payment of 375 Canadian dollars, then you will receive NAPRA ID. Okay. You will receive an email provided with your NAPRA ID. And this NAPRA ID, it is a lifelong ID. Like when you, even after you become your fully registered pharmacist, okay, then you will use the same NAPRA ID. Okay, this is your permanent license number or the ID number. Okay, it's not the license, but it's the ID number. Then after creating the NAPRA ID, what is the next step that you need to do? The next step is to create the PBC ID. To create the PBC ID, again, now you need to visit to the PBC portal where you create your profile, okay, fill the profile, okay, entering your NAPRA ID, then your education details. Either you have done your Bachelor of Pharmacy or your Master of Pharmacy or a 6 years of PharmD program, whatever be the education that you have done, enter those education details here. Then your licensing information, enter the country from where you have done your license, from where you hold your license, that is from Kenya. So you need to enter those, your Kenya license details. Then you need to make a declaration and after that make a payment of 705 Canadian dollars. Okay. Then with this, you will create the PBC ID and you will need to submit all your documents for evaluation. Now, when it comes to the documents, so these are the complete documents that you need to submit. Okay. So the first one is the application form, document evaluation application, then your photograph, then identification document like your passport, then university transcripts. and then university degree certificate and licensing statements, that is your pharmacy license statement or your good standing certificate. So these are the documents that you need to submit. Okay. So here is the further details of the documents, okay, that I have explained in brief. Okay. So here, if you look at these documents, the first one is the document evaluation application form. So this application form, directly as the candidate, you can submit it to the PBC, okay, online. So online, straight away, you can submit it to the PBC. Then your photograph, your passport size photo, so candidate can attach it. Means you can straight away, you can submit it. Okay. Then your identification document, that is your passport, you can submit, candidate can submit it. So these are the three documents that candidate can create the profile after creating this previous profile here. Okay. At step 2, PBC ID, then you can submit all these documents. Then the other 3 documents, these are the documents that you need to request from the third party. These are known as the third party documents. Okay. So what are these documents? One is your university transcript. Your university transcript should be sent right away from your university to PBC Canada in a closed envelope. Okay. So Canada PBC, it accepts only the hard copies. For Australia, Ireland, you can submit your soft copy. That is, just you can take your transcript, scan it, and you can upload it. But for Canada, no, you can't do that. So you need to send the hard copy straight away to PBC. Okay. So for that, you need to apply to your university, and your university will send it straight away to PBC in a closed envelope. And your university degree certificate as well, and your licensing requirements like your good standing certificate or your current status of registration certificate. Okay. So your pharmacy, your Kenya State Pharmacy Council, so they will give the good standing certificate or the licensing certificate, and that certificate you need to submit only through your pharmacy council. So this is the one that you can't do it by yourself. So your regulating body, that is your pharmacy council, will submit straight away to PBC. So these are the documents that which are required for initial step evaluation. Then after getting the evaluation done, now your documents will be reached to the case officer. Then your case officer will assess all your documents, and then they will give the eligibility for you to sit for examination. When they give the eligibility to sit for the examination, now you need to pay the examination fees. Okay. So up to this step, until here, so the fee that was involved was to creating the NAPRA ID. It is 375 Canadian dollars. Okay, 375 Canadian dollars, and then to create a profile with PBC, that is creating PBC ID and submitting all your documents for evaluation, it will cost 705 Canadian dollars. Okay. So this is the fee which is involved until your document evaluation. Then the case officer will evaluate your documents, and the case officer will give the approval for you to sit for PBC exam. Okay. Now, what is the fees for the PBC exam? So when it comes to the PBC examination, the first exam is evaluating exam. It is similar to how OPRA exam for Australia, okay, and similar to OPRA exam in Australia, that is for all the overseas pharmacists, there will be a screening exam, and that exam is the evaluating exam. Okay? And the evaluating exam fee is 910 Canadian dollars. After clearing this evaluating exam, okay, then you will need to sit for the qualifying exam. The qualifying exam is of 2 parts. Part 1, that is MCQs, and part 2, that is OSCE exam. And the fees for part 1 MCQ is 855 CAD Canadian dollars, and for part 2, that is OSCE, is 1,915 Canadian dollars. So this is the total fee cost that is involved to get the PBC certificate. After you clear these exams, all the 3 exams, then you will get the PBC certificate, and with that certificate, you need to get registered in each provinces. For example, if you want to become a pharmacist in British Columbia, or if you want to become a pharmacist in Quebec region or Ontario or Alberta, so what will be the province that you want to become a pharmacist? So you need to sit for that province law and ethics exam. Okay, so the law exam, it is a quite common. So you need to clear that law exam, and after clearing that law exam, you also need to submit your English language requirement. Okay, so your English language requirement you need to do only at the last step. By the time when you are getting registered with Pharmacy Board of Canada, by the time you need to submit your English language requirement, similar to that of Ireland. Okay, at the last step when we are getting registered with the board, by the time we need to submit the English language requirement. Okay, so when you submit all these things, then you will get the full license to practice as a pharmacist in Canada. Okay, but here there are certain important things that I need to stress. So for Canada, there is a condition, there is a criteria that when you are sitting for these exams, okay, if you pass the qualifying exam, part 1, that is MCQ, and part 2, that is OSCE, in your first attempt, that is in your first go, if you clear these exams in your first attempt, then you need not to do any bridging courses. Okay, so you need not to do the bridging course. Straight away you will get your license. But in case if you fail MCQ or if you fail the OSCE, then there is a punishment. What is that punishment? So here the punishment is nothing but you need to do a bridging course. And to do that bridging course, you need to spend around 10,000 to 15,000 Canadian dollars. Okay, and you need to spend around 6 to 12 months time. So it will roughly cost around, it will take around 12 months time, that is 1 year. And 1 year you need to do the training. And after that training, the bridging course, again, you need to reappear for this exam. Okay, so this is how the Canadian licensing examination, it works. Okay, so these are the things that are involved, the stepwise process that are involved to become a pharmacist in these 4 countries, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, and Canada. Okay, and at Elite Expertise, we are providing the complete training for all the for all these licensing examinations, okay? And especially at Elite Expertise. So as today, like as we are, this is the second time we are with Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya to do this event. Okay, so like especially for you guys, we are coming up with a new offer. Okay, so on coming Sunday, okay, that is on 25th, okay, so we are going to conduct a screening test. Okay, that is a quiz. Okay, and we are going to select 5 candidates from this screening test. From Kenya, we are going to select 5 candidates. So for all the 5 candidates, that is, we are going to select the top 5 candidates, whoever they score the highest marks in the screening test, that is in the quiz test, for all the 5 candidates. So we are going to provide them only for 50% the normal fees cost. Okay, so what will be the normal fees that we are charging for the exams? So for those 5 candidates, we are going to provide them only for 50% of the fees. Okay, so if you want to select for the Australian opera exam, or if you want to select for the Ireland PSI, or if you want to go with the PBC exam, so what will be the exam pathway that you want to go? Okay, so you are eligible to avail that offer only for 50% of the fees. Okay, provided that you need to sit for this exam. Okay, so this quiz exam is going to be conducted on 25th, which is on Sunday. So I recommend everyone, you can appear for this exam. Okay, so it is for free of cost. Appear for this exam, and we will select 5 candidates out of it, the top 5 candidates, and for the top 5 candidates, we are going to give 50% off in all these courses. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much from my side, and now we are open for our Q&A sessions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arif, for your presentation. I think the second last slide. I hope you'll share the second last slide for us to
Yep, sure.
present to the members, so that those who are interested can be part of this 5 who you want to say sponsor for the exams.
Yeah, sure.
So thank you so much for that. Now, members, it is now the time for question asking. I will start with the 2 questions that I can see on the chat, and then we go to the previous questions that we had in the previous session, that is exploring 1. And there is a question asked here, Dr. Arif, about how much a newbie earns after finishing all these exams, after passing everything, and you are now registered in Australia. What is the pay rate of a newbie? That is from Dr. Kennedy Cheriot. And also, the second question is on what you've just presented. What time is the exam? Kenyan time. Kindly consider the time difference. I have tried to join previous meetings, however, they are usually at 3 a.m. on Sunday. That is a member who is concerned about the time. So if you can take the 2 questions about the newbie earning rate, and also what time is the exam for those people who are interested in Kenyan time.
So for those people who are interested to sit for this quiz, are you asking the time for those who are interested to sit for this quiz?
Yes, I believe that is the question.
Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. I will discuss about the pay rate for the newbies in Australia. So the pay rate in newbies for any newly registered pharmacist, it completely depends on how we negotiate with the employer. Okay, and also they will look at our everything, like how our managing skills and so on. Okay, but the minimum pay rate for any pharmacist, the current pay rate is 45 Australian dollars. Okay, so 45 Australian dollars is the minimum pay rate. Okay, and it depends, like if we go to the remote areas, especially for the regional areas, if we are interested to work in the regional Australia, the pay rate will be higher. But if we want to stay in metros, in cities, the pay rate will be very less. That is 45. We can't expect more than 45 in cities. But if we move on to the regional Australia, then the pay rate will be 50 or around even up to 55. They are ready to pay, because in regional areas it's highly difficult for them to find the pharmacist. So that's why they are happy to give extra pay. And also in regional areas, they are happy to provide the accommodation to the pharmacist, but in cities, they won't provide that accommodation. So these are the differences between the pay rates. And the next question is about the coming event, the quiz that we have announced it for 25th on coming Sunday, especially for all the Kenya, those who are here participating for this webinar. Okay? So for them, we will organize this quiz at around 10 a.m. in the morning, Kenya time. Okay, so we'll follow the Nairobi time, and it will be 10 a.m. in Kenya.
Thank you very much for that. I believe members, you're still keen listening to the presentation. Now, before I go to the questions that we have, there's also somebody asking, what of the diploma holders, are they liable for this? I think this was a question that came up last time. Okay. Are there opportunities for pharmaceutical technologies? These are now the diploma holders in in Kenya.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the other question is, how can you help someone secure state nomination or employer nomination to enable one get a visa? I did CAPS exam 1 year ago, PTE, and got APC assessment, then proceeded to fill EOI and ROI, but the nomination hasn't been forthcoming. So please answer the two.
Yeah, sure. The first question is about for the diploma holders. Okay, so those who have the diploma holders, like what you can do is you can still apply for technician jobs. Okay, that is the pharmacy technician. So you need to do the skills assessment for pharmacy technician. Okay? So, and after doing the skills assessment from pharmacy technician, you need to apply your, like you need to lodge for the expression of interest, that is EOIs. Okay, so but here to migrate as a pharmacy technician, so you need to do the skills assessment through another pathway that is known as VETASIS, not through Australian Pharmacy Council. Okay, so for pharmacy technicians there is another pathway that is known as the VETASIS. So VETASIS will do the assessment for all the pharmacy technicians. So at first we need to get the assessment done through VETASIS, and after getting that assessment result, then we need to lodge for the expression of interest. But for VETASIS, there won't be any exam, so you need not to sit for any exam if you want to do the process through VETASIS. Okay, so just your diploma degree and your technician experience would be sufficient. So with that, you can do your assessment and you will get that assessment letter, and that assessment letter you need to apply for expression of interest. But again, when it comes to the technician migrations, the chances will be very less than that of the pharmacist. So for technicians, the chances of getting the opportunities, that is the visa invitations, will be very less when compared to that of a registered pharmacist. Okay, so that's the thing that we need to keep in consideration. But I know that there are a lot of the Indian candidates who moved to Australia even on technician based. But when compared to pharmacists, in case there are around 100 pharmacists who have cleared these exams and moved to Australia, there will be only 2 or 3 technicians who have moved to Australia through VETASIS pathway, because for VETASIS pathway, the chances of getting the visa will be very less. Okay? So this is the thing that we need to keep in consideration while we are going for the technician assessments. Then the next question is about those who have already cleared their CAPS examination back in 2023 or 2024 and still waiting for the visa, okay, invitations. As it really takes some time for them to sort out these visas. Okay? And even like I can share my own journey of my pharmacist journey in Australia. I did my CAPS exam back in 2016. I did my CAPS exam in 2016 October, and after clearing the CAPS examination, I applied for the Australian visa, but I didn't get any nominations. There were no nominations for me. I tried for all the states. And during those days, only 2 states were open for pharmacists. One is the Northern Territory and the other one is Tasmania. Okay. I applied for South Australia, but South Australia has rejected my application. Okay. So they have rejected my application. Then I have applied for Northern Territory and for Tasmania. Okay. So when I applied for both these states, okay, and I have been waiting. So I cleared my CAPS examination back in 2016, and after clearing the exam, immediately I have applied for expression of interest. Then I got my visa in 2018 November. Okay, so which means that it took almost 2 years time for me to get the visa. In 2018 December, on 5th of December, I landed here in Australia. Okay, so this is the usual fact that how much time does it takes for Australian immigration department to allocate the visas and so on. Okay, so we must we must wait for them to allocate the visas, or otherwise there are other opportunities, like other options. So we need to keep on looking for any sponsorship visas. The sponsorship, like the state sponsorship, 489 sponsorship, or at least the 407 category of the visa, which is known as the 1-year training visa. So this 1-year training visa will help us to move to Australia and clear our internship within 1 year. So we can clear our internship and can get the fully licensed in Australia. Or the last option is we can move on to Australia on a student visa. And in case if you and your spouse, if both are planning to move to Australia on a student visa, so your spouse can become a student, and you will have the full right to work for like you will have the full working rights. Okay, so your spouse will be a student and you will be working full time, means there won't be any restrictions upon you. Okay, so you can keep on working for full time. Okay, and you can complete your internship during that time, and you will become a fully licensed pharmacist. So these are the few other options that we need to keep on exploring. Okay? And the last question was about the PTE. So someone has raised that our PTE examination is going to expire. Okay? So if your PTE is expired, then we need to resit for the PTE. PTE doesn't cost much. It will be around $220. Okay? So again, we need to resit for the PTE, and always we must try to score the highest in PTE, that is 79 plus in each component of PTE. Then our application will stand at a higher level. And at the same time, when they are looking for nominations, especially I can share few examples. Like recently, Western Australia has provided the nominations for candidates. Okay? So Western Australia has provided, it gave the invitations only for those who have superior English language score. Okay? That is 79 plus in PTE. Only for those candidates it has provided the invitations. Okay, so these are the things that we need to keep in consideration when we are preparing for the English language test. So the maximum that we need to try to score to get the highest in our English score.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Ari.
Yes.
So the other question, and I think our dear colleague, Dr. Anthony Yaile, has been silent a bit. Maybe I can task him to answer these two questions.
Yeah.
There is a question on age. What is the age preference? And then on our previous session, we had a question about moving with family to Australia, which I think you've tackled a bit. But since Dr. Yaile can also give some of his opinions on this.
Yeah, sure.
So the first question is on age. What age is preferred? Is there a preference for age in terms of migration to Australia? That has been asked by Dr. Uma Bat. There's also a question. I think you handled this one on the pharmaceutical technologists, but they're asking if you could share a criteria or a guideline on what guides you on the assessment, what is required during the assessment. Number 3 is on what happens. Dr. Kennedy Cheriot is asking, once you have completed the assessment, for you to have placement, which needs a visa, what happens to one completed the assessment, to one who has completed the assessment but needs to have Australian placement, which needs a visa? I think Dr. Kennedy Cheriot, you'll have to go again on that question. It's a bit, please go again on that question, Dr. Cheriot, on the chat so that I can see. Now, the other question is on, now, you have passed all your exams. Before you move to Australia, are you able to ask? They're asking, is there a way that you could secure a job while still in Kenya? Yours is just to move to Australia and start the job. That is the question. So I don't know whether we've gotten that, Dr. Yaile.
Yes, I got that. Thank you very much. I think you can unshare this screen so that I'm able to be with my audience. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Anthony Yaile, or Dr. Anthony Yaile, for those who do not know me, but I know many of you know me. I'm a registered pharmacist and a specialist pharmacist in Kenya. And I'm also, I think last time during this session 1, I had not been registered pharmacist in Australia, but I want to confirm as of today, I got my registration on 2nd of April this year, provisional registration, and I'm in the process of getting what we call general registration, which is like full registration. I'm a PSK member and also Australian member, from a Pharmaceutical Society member. And therefore, I'm privileged to be here. And having been in the PSK leadership as one of the council member, I thought in the spirit of giving back, as our president always says, our Machogu, that when you get an opportunity, share with your brothers. So I thought this is an opportunity for us as pharmacists to know, because most of us don't have information, as it were. And I want to thank the CEO. Even as I left the country, I told her that I'll be connecting as a member, as a member. Pharmacy is in my blood. So, and it will be good when we have many Kenyans. I know Arif, having come from the Asian country, he knows that Indians are very many here, and he loves it. So I would love to see like 5, 10 Kenyans we come here, open community pharmacies and it's good. This is the practice is nice, I can tell you. So to go from far, age. Now the age, someone asked about the age. As per the Australian immigration, visa requirements, there is some limit to the age, which is you have to be between 18 to 45 years of age. But that does not mean that if you're 45 years of age and above, you cannot practice as a pharmacist or you cannot immigrate. There are other pathways, what we call the DAMA migration pathway, where you get sponsors in the regional areas and they sponsor you and your family. So the 45 and below years, we have different points. I think I will link with Hezron and give you the link. We have what we call the point system when you're applying for the visas, the different types of visas, either state nominated, regional or federal nomination. So we have point system, and the minimum usually is 65. Maximum, it can be whichever maximum. But one of the factors, and they've clustered the different age. We have different age points depending on what age you are. So it is true, it's a factor if you want to be nominated for those types of visas. But as I was said, we have different pathways for those who are above 45 years age. And Arif has attested, you can bring your spouse. Your spouse could be a professional in another area. You could come in through her or him. Well, those are things that we can discuss behind the scene as for those who plan to come. The other question about PharmTech, Vitases. As Arif has said, the requirement is not like the professional, aspect using the APRA or the council. Here are the VITASes, which you can even do it yourself. You don't have to have an agent. You just go to the website and do it yourself. You submit the documents. What is required is that first you need to have the certificate. Here they call it pharmacy technicians. Actually, it's a certificate level, certificate 3. I think they got a certificate 3 or equivalent. So our pharmaceutical technologists who have done VITASes are actually passed because the diploma they do is high level, yeah, equivalent. It's highly rated. However, we also need experience. You need, like, according to we have a skills list. We have a skills list of all the skills that are required in Australia. And one of the skills that is required is the what we call pharmacy technician through VITASes. So the VITASes process is that you submit an expression of interest on their website. You submit the documents, the certified documents. You submit your experiences, your taxes, the board. And as I said, you have to really be of good practice with the board. Our regulatory board is called the Pharmacy and Poisons Board. Yeah, so many of us in this forum are registered or are enrolled by the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, and some do not want to be regulated. Yeah, I can tell you, you can never run away. If you want to be an international pharmacy, you can never run away from Dr. Ocheng. They know who I'm talking to, the Pharmacy and Poisons Board. You can never run away from it. Even me, I got that registration. And this is linked to your PSK or KPA, that is Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya, or the KPA, that is Kenya Pharmaceutical Association for the Pharmtech. Then, Cheruiyot, yes, your question was not clear, as Joe has said. I did not get what you wanted. Before you make it to secure a job, I think what you wanted to say, can the OPRA exams, the CAPS exams change to OPRA beginning of this year? So it's the same thing, but OPRA is more of clinical oriented, which favors even us Kenyans, because our training is all encompassing all. So what you're trying to say, I think I'm just suspecting that what you want to say is, can the OPRA exam be done in Kenya? Yeah, must you maybe come to Australia to do the OPRA exam? No, OPRA exams can be done in Kenya. We have even some of my colleagues who were in this meeting who did their OPRA exams just a few months ago, I think 3-4 weeks ago. We have centers in Kenya which are approved to facilitate the OPRA exam. So you can do it. I didn't know this. I wish I knew. I would have done my OPRA exam in Kenya. Thank you.
So in Nairobi, there is a center.
Yes, we have a center in Nairobi.
In Nairobi, yeah.
In fact, they are lucky because guys from Egypt, guys from Central Africa, guys from Ghana, they come to Kenya to do the OPRA exams.
Oh.
I recently met with an Egyptian who traveled all the way from Egypt to do the OPRA exam in Kenya. And he said,
exactly.
We guys in Kenya are very lucky.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And one thing that I would like to share with you guys, like even for PBC, in case if you are planning to sit for the Canada PBC exam. So this Canada PBC exam, you can do it from your home country. Okay. So even like home country in the sense you can sit it in your home. Okay. So you can sit in your home and you can do it from your home. So just what you need is you need a proper internet connection with a very good internet connection and a webcam, and your background you need to place a mirror. Okay, so like how there is a banner for me, so there you need to place a big mirror and you can do the exam by sitting in your home. Okay, so Canada PBC evaluating exam as well as the qualifying exam part 1. So these 2 exams you can do it from your home. Even the same goes with the Ireland as well. For the Ireland, earlier there was the MCQ. So for the MCQ examination, still we can do it from our home. Need not to go to Ireland to sit for that exam. But for OSCE, yes, to appear for the OSCE exam, so we need to travel to Ireland and clear the OSCE exam. Even for Canada, to do the OSCE exam, we need to travel to Canada and clear the OSCE exam.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arif. The other question is where the center is located in Nairobi for the OPRA exam. That's what Dr. Oginga is asking, Samuel Oginga. There's also a request for both of you presenters to share your emails and contacts. This is from Dr. Francis Kiku. He's asking whether Dr. Yaile and Dr. Arif could share their contacts and email addresses. The other question is, I think, I don't know whether this you had answered, Dr. Arif. I think you had answered about the salary. I think this must be somebody who is already salaried in Kenya, and he wants to know whether there are greener pastures there and how greener they are. So he's asking, after passing all this, Dr. Tony Mohammed, Dr. Tony Ahmed, how much is the salary in Australia? Then there is a question, and also if I would add on that, does this salary depend on career progression? Like in Kenya, we have people who have their basic degree or their basic diploma earning lesser than people who have masters and who have served for longer times. So please add on that. And then the other question is, will the elections affect the rate of invitations? The elections in Australia, do they affect the rate at which people migrate there? That is from Dr. Chelagat. And then the other question, which I think we need to ask, or is coming from the members, is accommodation. This is a question that is coming from members. As you said, there are, just like in Kenya, we have rural and urban areas. So we wanted to know where is it cheaper? When you land in Australia, where can you live a modest life that is not too expensive as you partake your other exams, or as you're doing your internship, or as you are working? Also tell us about the family friendliness of these places and the security, the best places to live if you want to bring your family in there. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So the first question is about sharing the email and the contact details. So I will share the email and my contact details. So, but you can just scan this thing. Sorry, I guess you can see it here now. Okay, so you can scan it straight away, and it will take you to my website, okay, Elite Expertise website. Okay, but I will share my email details as well shortly. Okay, and then the second question is how much salary that we can expect as we keep on as our experience it increases. Okay? So as experience increases, of course, even in Australia, the salary or the pay rate will increase. Okay? So not only in Australia, worldwide, it is the same. So as our experience is, as it increases, then our pay rate and our salary will keep on increasing. Okay? So that's quite common all over the world. So in Australia, Canada, or wherever, wherever it is, then a salary rate will increase. And there was another question that how much salary will be for a beginner and as the career it increases, then how much it will be. So I'm a clinical pharmacist in the hospitals. So in the hospitals in Australia, there will be a graded levels. Okay, so the position.
Oh, nikutumie pia. Nasikia umetumia
Sorry,
nashindwa pia.
I think we have a problem. Who is kindly mute?
Inaisha.
Sorry.
PSKCO, kindly mute your mic.
Okay.
There's a
So
mic.
as experience it increases, like in Australia, especially for the clinical pharmacist in the hospital, there will be like grade 1 position. Then on grade 1, it will be for 4 years, grade 1, year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. Then they move to the grade 2, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, then grade 3. So in this way, as the grade it increases and the year it increases, then automatically the dollar value it will increase. The pay rate will keep on increasing. Every year the pay rate will change. It will keep on increasing. And the other question was about as recently we had the election here in Australia and how it's gonna affect the invitations. So hopefully, like it should give a very good result, or it should be a very good effect on immigrations as well. So definitely the Australian government, they might think about giving them more invitations. Okay, so we hope for the best. Okay, but again, as I mentioned even earlier, so we should not only focus only for this PR pathways. Okay, we must also keep on trying for some sponsorship and for the student visa as well. Okay, and always I recommend you guys to if you have decided yourself to move out and to become a pharmacist in any one of these countries, okay, then always you need to keep on preparing for at least for 2 options. Okay, so one is when you prepare for this opera, then you can do for Australia and New Zealand. And also you can put one other option like Canada or Ireland. Okay, so I like most of the students, like Indian students recently, what they did was like they have appeared for the CAPS examination back there, and then they as there was a big delay for this Australian visas, then they also did the Canadian pathway, and they got the visa from Canada. Okay, so
yeah,
so yeah. So always we must put 1 or 2 options. Okay, and for any of these options, like the preparation, if we prepare for one of these exams, then it becomes much easy for the other pathway, for the other exams as well. Okay, and right now I can share that the current situation for Canada and for Ireland is in Canada. So clearing the examinations is a bit challenging task for Canada, because the examination, the passing percentage is a bit less for Canada. But once if we clear these exams and if we get that PBC certificate or the license, then the opportunities for the pharmacists in Canada are higher. Means the Canadian pharmacists, they are ready to give the sponsorships. Okay? Sponsorships are quite easier in Canada. The same thing goes with the Ireland as well. So even in Ireland, so as straight away will get this license, so you need not to worry about doing the internship, and you need not to worry about looking for the supervised practice or the internship. Straight away you will get the license, means right away you can start practicing as a pharmacist in Ireland. So I can share one best example, Rifika Mohammed. So she's one of the trainers with us. She's a fully registered pharmacist in Ireland. So she's from Sudan, and she cleared her PSI, that is the Ireland examinations from Sudan, and she went to Ireland to do her OSCE, And after completing the OSCE, she got registered as a pharmacist in Ireland. So soon after getting registered as a pharmacist, so she applied for the job positions in LinkedIn. Within 48 hours, she got like 3 to 4 options, 3 to 4 employers they have approached her, and she has negotiated and then she selected the best option. Okay? So in Ireland, that's the current situation. Like the chances are very high. The same goes with the Canada as well. I'm not saying that in Australia there's no options, but even in Australia, the thing is that at first you need to do the look for the internship positions. Okay? So, but for that there are different visa options. So 190 and 482, these two are the permanent residency visas. So you can try it from Kenya, but there are other options like 489 and 407. These are the sponsorship visas. So for that you need to have an employer for that. Okay? And as the last question was about the accommodation and in which places will be a bit cheaper to stay in Australia. So in Australia, it's a bit expensive, especially when it comes to stay in metropolitan cities like in Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, or in Brisbane. In all these places, it will be a bit expensive. But as I mentioned, even at the earlier, that if we move on to the regional areas, regional Australia, rural areas. So in rural areas, the cost of living will be very less. And in rural areas, the employers will be ready to give you the accommodation. They will provide the free accommodation and they will pay up to $50 per hour for the beginners. Okay? So this is the main difference between a life in regional Australia and in metros. So these are the few things, guys.
Well, thank you very much, Doc.
In addition, Joe, there was a question on the center, the examination center
for and also
the
elections.
OPRA. Yeah, for
yes,
elections
and also elections, how they affect the migration, whether there are any.
I think
like the way
I
we
think
have
that one has been answered.
Okay.
That one has been answered. We already, in fact, we were. Australia is not like Kenya, where when there are elections, we by the way we already finished elections in Australia, and whoever was chosen, Anthony, he's pro-immigrant, so we believe things will be okay in terms of elections. I think they are over, and the citizens did the right thing. Now, the center that OPRA exam is done in Kenya is called it's just in Nairobi. Yeah, it's called Computer Pride in JQAT Towers. That's where OPRA exams are done. But during registration, you are able to choose. You just select. I think we have the British Council and the Computer Pride Center in JQAT Towers. You just select and you'll see the Nairobi centers within Kenya. I hope that answers the question. And as I said, we have a few pharmacists whom I know who just did the exam and passed. The chief pharmacist of Diani Hospital, you can get the contact from PSK. He's able to guide you on the actual how to go about it in Kenya. He's actually also in that process of registration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc. I also find that there is a member who has asked a question on research, whether pharmacists can come to Australia through, because the idea here is that most pharmacists come to work in hospitals and community pharmacies. Do we still have pharmacists who come to, work in research bodies and also make a living there. I believe this is for, it was addressed to either Dr. Haile or Dr. Arif. So the other question is, I just want you to take two and then we wrap it up. The other question is on once you booked your exam with UNICEF, I think this is more of a comment. Once you've booked your exam with UNICEF, they'll direct you to more than one center in Nairobi, which you can choose. I think that was a good comment from Dr. Jacqueline Chlagat, who was also just giving an addition. The center location has been addressed by Dr. Yaile. So I think the main question there is about research. Maybe Dr. Arif can give a comment about the research, and then Dr. Yaile. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Dr. Joe, and thanks for asking this question. So when it comes to the research at Australian universities, they have a good opportunities to provide the research, and especially the PhD options. So here, like I know a lot of candidates who came to Australia, especially for pursuing their PhD. So it is quite easy process, but it is a bit competitive as well these days. Okay? So for that, what we need to do is, at first we need to select any one of the university. For example, you can look at for Monash University or University of Queensland. Okay? So then you need to keep on getting the professors or the assistant professors, whoever the in the pharmacy field. Okay, so you need to keep on taking their email IDs. So when you go to the university website, and when you search for the pharmacy department, there you will find the complete list of the professors, associate professors, assistant professors, and the lecturers. Okay? So you need to get the email contacts. So in the website, they will also mention the email contacts of each lecturer or the professor. So you need to send an email to them saying that I'm interested to do my PhD scholar, that is my research, under your supervision or under your guidance. So we need to send an email to them, and sending an email in the sense we need to explain them in that email. We need to clearly mention that, so what experience that we have as a researcher, what experience that we have we done any research activities? Okay? So in Kenya, have you done any research activities, and how many papers, publications that you have? Okay? And when you send all these details, and also a topic that you need to select in which you are interested, so that topic that you need to send to that professor, and then the professor will send you one application form. Okay? In that application form, there will be certain criteria. So you need to fill those criteria. So one of the criteria is you will be asked about how much research experience that you have. Okay? So for that research experience, you need to show how many publications that you have done so far. So when it comes to the publications, so how many publications you have done in Q1 ranking journals, and how many publications you have done in Q2 ranking journals, and in Q3 ranking journals. Okay, so those are the things that you need to fulfill there. Okay? And also you need to show them how many years of, if you have any teaching experience, if you are already working in any universities there, then you need to enter those, your teaching experience and your university experience, and your all the research knowledge, and how many papers that you have published, and your research scholar link. Okay? So you need to provide your research scholar link as well. Okay, all your papers will be there, published articles will be there in the research scholar, so in the Google Scholar. So from there you need to provide that link as well. So then they will go through your application, and they will send you one offer letter. Okay, so saying that this is the offer letter that we are offering you to for the PhD scholarship. Okay? And your PhD scholarship, we will keep it for the next upcoming round in the university. Okay? So in the university, there will be like at least 3 to 4 rounds will be going on per year. So in that next upcoming round, they will put your application. So in case if your application is selected, then they will give you the invitation to apply for the visa. Then you need to apply for the visa and move to Australia and start doing your research, that is PhD.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr.
Maybe in addition,
yeah.
Yes, in addition to that, for my colleagues, remember I was a lecturer in Kenya. I was a lecturer, and I have seen some of my colleagues here who are lecturer. There's also a pathway, apart from the PhD perspective, because we have also those who have already have PhD, and I'm very sure they will not want to come here and do PhD. You know, being a student in Australia is hectic. And I can attest, nobody wants even to be a university professor from my own experience here in Australia. I will not even want to be a lecturer in a university here, unless I'm in the health science or in my area, because the profession pays better. You know, things on the ground is not how it is. Now, this I'm giving you from my personal experience here in Australia compared to Kenya. I think Kenya education is overrated, but here, your pharmacy degree as a pharmacist pays much better than a university professor in Monash or in whatever university, unless I think Arif can attest to that. But however, university lecturer is among the pathways that you can come into Australia. Is one of the profession that is in the skills list. And skills assessment, positive skills assessment as a university lecturer. And I did a comparative study, and I said I cannot be, let me just be a pharmacist. I know one of my colleagues, one of my friends, lecturer in Kenya, in one of the universities teaching pharmacies, Kabarak University, is also doing the same. Yeah, that is another pathway. If you say you do not want to be you don't want to do these opera exams, the exams issues, you are not ready for them. The VITASes, the same way as the PharmTech pathway or the pharmacy technician pathway, the VITASes pathway has a university lecturer profession as one of the skills that is required. And of course, the requirements are, as Arif has said, the publication, the universities. There are so many things that you will submit. The taxes, you need to be able to show that you've been paying taxes well in your country, the number of years, the universities that you've taught. So you should not be discouraged. That is also another pathway that you've used. So there are different prongs and approaches on research. But at the end of the day, what you want is good life. Yeah. You do not want again to come here and be in university and already you are a professor in maybe in X university, in University of Nairobi. You can just come as a lecturer and then diversify. Once you diversify, you'll realize what I'm saying, that being a pharmacist is much more paying than a university professor. That is in Australia. I'm not saying in Kenya. Yes. Thank you, Joe. I hope I've answered that question.
Very well indeed. Maybe before I introduce Hezron to answer on the CPD points, I'm seeing everybody has given their emails. Maybe a parting shot for Dr. Arif and a parting shot for Dr. Ile as we close. We just have less than 6 minutes to go. Kindly, just a parting shot, a word of advice to our young pharmacists and those aspiring to come abroad. Maybe just a word of advice and caution where they need to note as they plan to immigrate.
Yeah. So Well, first of all, I would like to share the email contacts. Okay, so these are the email contacts. So this is my personal email ID, and this is the Elite Expertise admin email, or you can send an email to admin@eliteexpertise.org or contact@eliteexpertise.org. Okay, so one of the team members, they will go through the email and they will have a look and they will give the reply to your email, and whatever the queries that you have to clear the examinations and whatever the things that you are planning to do. So those are the ones that you can clarify your doubts. Okay, and also for the upcoming session, that is, as I mentioned, that on Sunday we'll be conducting a quiz for all the participants, and if you get the highest score for the top 5 candidates, we will provide the 50% off in any one of the programs that they select. Okay, so we will give them the 50% off. So even for that, you can just send an email to one of these email IDs when you are interested, or you can contact to us on www.eliteexpertise.org.au. Okay, so you can visit to our website, Elite Expertise website, and you can from there you can just give any of your queries. Okay, and yeah, finally, the thing that what I would like to tell is here, if you have decided to build your career in any of these countries, in any one of the countries, if you want to move and practice as a pharmacist there, then you need to take a step. Okay? And you need to plan like yourself, like even for Australia or New Zealand or Ireland or Canada or US. So whatever the country that you are planning to, so all these countries, especially for the pharmacies, the practice standards are very high. Okay, so pharmacy practice is very good in these countries. So you will get a full satisfaction from the side of your income, the earning, as well as a profession. Okay, so as a profession, like you will have a full complete satisfaction while you are practicing in these countries. So I would like to tell that whatever be the country that you have decided to move on, okay, so just go ahead and plan to start your journey and kickstart your journey and never give up. Okay, so in case if you have decided to migrate and move on to build your career in any of these countries, so never give up and just keep on trying for any of these countries, and one day definitely you will achieve your goals. So thank you, Joe.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Arif. Dr. Aile, parting shot.
Thank you very much. First, I want to appreciate Elite Expertise through Arif. I want to attest that for me to pass my CAPS exam, I used the organization, and I'm still using it because I'll still do the internship examination, so I'll be with them. However, it's also good to create partnership. It's not enough to be a student. This is what we say, the extras. Yeah. Having been a lecturer, we always pick the good students who are there. We have 100 students, but you can always pick. Yeah. So I decided to be a good student and share this knowledge to my colleagues in Kenya who may not have these experiences. They may not have opportunities. They do not know, because we still have unemployment, just as is in India. We still have a problem with unemployment with our young pharmacists. And this is a wake-up call for the YPG group, the Young Pharmacist Group. I think this is an opportunity I saw will be helpful for them as part of PSK trying to look for opportunities for the pharmacists. So I want first to appreciate Elite Expertise. Two, the partnership. You can see the partnership is bearing some fruits. we now have a semi-scholarship, a 5-scholarship opportunity for the pharmacists who are ready to migrate in any of those countries, not necessarily Australia, any of those countries. So the ball is on you. Yeah, the ball is on you. And I want to appreciate, because this is an opportunity that will not have come very easily. So for the coordinators, our CEO, Hezron, Joe, thank you for this opportunity for our colleagues, esteemed colleagues. Finally, I want to appreciate all the members. I know sometimes we've been putting this, the timings has been very awkward, but I want to appreciate that every other time we have 500 plus members. You know, putting it physically, addressing 500 members is not a big joke, Arif. So this shows the opportunities that are there in Kenya, and how Kenya is eager to migrate. So this is a hub. I want to tell you, Kenya is one of the best East African countries. As you've heard, OPRA is a regional. I mean, people in Tanzania, Uganda, all the way from Egypt come to Kenya to do OPRA exams. Yeah. And the pharmacists are well trained. As I told you, we do 5-year program, very intensive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I can tell you the OSCE exam is just we just do it. What we lack is the opportunity and the knowledge or the information. Now our members have information, so take advantage of elite expertise for those who want to look for opportunities, diaspora, and become a diaspora pharmacist. Yeah. So don't just look at Kenya, just be broad. So with those few remarks, Joe, I want to return back to you, and I want to thank you very much for the opportunities, and we are always ready to come back when called upon for other engagement, for other opportunities, for other networking session. Thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you, Dr. Tony. And before that, I would also like to, Dr. Joe, if you give me 1 minute, I would like to say thanks to all the other members here. So first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Ivy Retimo, the CEO of Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya, Dr. Hezron, PSK Communication Lead, and Dr. Tony, Anthony, and to Dr. Joe, and for all the members of Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya and all the participants, those who are here today, and you have spent like more than 1.5 hour time to know the information that how or how to move on or how to build your career in those countries. Okay? So I would like to appreciate your patience and your thanks for spending the time, and I hope that you might have benefited of the information that we have provided to you. And even like if you have any queries, please don't hesitate. So always you can approach to us, and we will be ready to help you out in these aspects. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arif. A special thanks also to Dr. Ile Todi. Please also give a shout out to Ms. Harika in absentia. Tell her
sure.
we missed her, and maybe if you have another session next time,
sure.
We would really like her to grace the occasion next time. Members, I will also not keep you from your lunch. I will just straight introduce Dr. Hezron to give his remarks. And since I won't speak again, I want to thank you. It is not easy to have, again, 500 plus members. And even during lunchtime, we still have over 450 members who are there. Kudos, members. I want to thank you for attending this webinar. I have been your host, Dr. Joe Mwangi Kamau, and I hope when we meet again, we will elicit such questions, such reactions, and more of us will be even eager to migrate. Thank you very much. Dr. Hezron.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Joe, for the excellent moderation. And for our speaker today, Mr. Arif, Thank you so much for creating time and also sharing those insights on how our members can also be able to practice outside Kenya. And to our very own Dr. Anthony Aile, thank you so much for always organizing this and the support that you've given and also sharing your experience. So I think I'll just jump in right to the announcements before we close. And the first one is this event is on the portal. So if you've not subscribed, ensure that you do so. You'll see, once you use the keyword exploring, you'll be able to see 2 events, as you can see on this slide. The specific one is the second one, which is written part 2 at the end. So ensure that you subscribe to that so that you'll be able to get your CPD points. Just an announcement, this evening we'll be having an information session about the Helion Health Partner Platform. I know we've been having a lot of questions with regards to how you can sign up on their platform. There are some of you who've been encountering some challenges when registering. So this evening we'll be having a session with one of their team members who will be just highlighting on how to navigate through the platform, how you can download your certificate after the event, and just generally how to interact with their platform, which has a lot of information. So ensure that you make some time to join that session. And then aside from that, next week, they'll be launching the Helion Pain Management Institute. And this will be happening here in Kenya. But then it will be a hybrid session. And this is the poster. So they'll be having a speaker, Professor Bart Molion, who will be presenting on that session. So we've already sent out the link for registration. And for all the PSK members, the first 500 who will be registering will be receiving a merchandise from them. And hopefully we'll be able to carry them to the conference, and those who will not be able to pick them at the conference, we'll have them at the PSK office so that you can pick them. So take note of that. The first 500 who will be registering, there'll be a pack for you from Helion. So ensure that you register and also join us this evening for that information session so that you just understand how to navigate through their platform. Another reminder is for the conference, which is happening in less than a month now, from 18th to 20th of June at Sarova White Sands. And the late bird ticket will be ending on 31st of May. So if you've not registered for the conference, ensure that you do so and take advantage of that discount before we get into the on-site ticket, which is going to be costing a little bit more. So take advantage of that. And finally, usual reminder, if you experience if your patients experience any suspected adverse effects or get any poor quality health products and technologies, kindly share the information with the Pharmacy and Poisons Board. You can use 3 methods to inform them. The first 2 is for healthcare professionals, where you can go to their website, pv.pharmacyboardkenya.org. And the other one is through the mobile application, which you can download on the Google Play Store or Apple Store. You just have to search for the word MPVAS and you should be able to find the application. And finally, for the members of the public, they can use the *271# SSD code to do the submission. Once again, thank you all for making time, and for our speakers, thank you so much. And I think this will be the end of the session. Have a good day and see you in the evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.